I remember growing up, going to Saturday matinee and watching the cowboy and Indian Western movies. They were black and white in those days, and they always involved about the same thing, but in a different setting each time. There would be lots of shooting of arrows, shooting of guns, burning of things. They were pretty violent stuff, but invariably at some point during the course of the movie, there would be a scene towards the end where the hero wearing the cowboy hat and the hero wearing the Indian headdress would come together in some isolated spot. And they would, instead of fighting each other, they would admit to respect for each other and honor for each other. And one would take out a knife much bigger than needed and cut his palm. The camera would do a close-up and we'd all get squeamish and blood would ooze out. Then he would take the same knife, cut the other man's palm, and they would hold their palms together, bonding them as blood brothers. And we got it. We understood the seriousness of this because this was blood. This was blood and real pain. In the Old Testament, we find God in conversation with the people, with Moses as the mediator. And God wants something from the people. He wants from them something very simple. He wants their love and their faithfulness. He wants them to be a special people from which the Messiah will come. And so he tells Moses, write these things down so the people will know what I mean when I say be faithful. Moses does this. He shows it, reads it to the people. The people all give their affirmation and they say, yes, we'll do that. In essence, giving an I do to God. And then they seal the deal. Moses orders some bulls slaughtered. They burn the flesh on the altar. They save the blood, divided in two. Moses splashes half of the blood on the altar. Now that altar represents God. He takes the other half of the blood and he sprinkles it on the people. They get it. They understand the blood. They see this symbol, the seriousness of this covenant that they have just made and God has just made with them. They are now his very special people. In the New Testament reading today, in the Gospel, we find Jesus at the Last Supper. And this time, something vastly different takes place. Jesus takes bread and wine. And he takes the bread, he breaks it, and he hands it to his disciples, and he says, take this and eat it. This is my body. And with the cup, the chalice of wine, he says, take this and drink of it. This is the chalice of my blood. This is the new covenant for the forgiveness of sins. And of course, we know Jesus is referring to his upcoming crucifixion and death, his resurrection and his ascension. But in this moment, Jesus presents a new covenant, not just to his disciples, but to all of humanity. This covenant is for everyone, for the forgiveness of their sins. And what does he ask in return? Does he ask for the blood of any of the people? No. He really asks for only their hearts. He says, love me, be faithful to me. What kind of God is this? What kind of person is our God? He doesn't demand much from us at all, but he gives his all. Love me, he says. Be faithful to me. Love one another, but love me. He wants our hearts. He asks of us, love me. Love me.